This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, hello, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. Normally I do a birthday boy on someone who is actually living and, you know, all that. But because, well, I did, the previous birthday boys I did for March 27th are all, well, all there. I decided to do this guy instead. But this guy actually recently died not too far ago, not even 3 months ago. So, this is huge. So anyway, this is a picture of Cale Yarborough and his NASCAR vehicle. He was born March 27, 1939 in Timmonsville, South Carolina. He was one of the best stock car drivers between the 60s and the 80s. And actually is sixth on the all-time list of NASCAR wins with 83. So anyway, Yarborough was born to fair parents, but his father was a tobacco farmer, a cotton gin operator, and store owner that was died in an airplane crash when Cale was 12. Anyway, he would be a driver starting in 1957, making his debut as a driver at the Severn 500, which is the huge race that is held on Memorial Day weekend for NASCAR. He dropped to number 30 and actually took 42nd. 2 years later, he would finish 27th. Anyway, he would drive like one race per year in a sense. But in 1963, he actually signed on to drive a Ford for Herman Bean, taking 5th place twice. He would drive for various owners for winning a race at Valdosta Speedway. So anyway, he would race and do well. He had a couple of races in 1967 winning for the Wood brothers, but he didn't run that many races. He also was part of the Indy 500 for a few years. Anyway, he had a limited schedule, but he still was good for the load management, if you will. He would drive a limited schedule for the Wood brothers. But anyway, he would keep racing for many other teams and all that. In 1973, he drove the number 11 car for Richard Howard, and that was the first year he actually decided to race full time, run every race, winning 4 of them by finishing second in points. Yarborough won 10 races in 1974, but somehow lost the points race. Wasn't really that good and all that. So anyway, he looked good in 74. And in 1975, Holly Farms became the prime sponsor. That's the car that you see in the picture. He would win 3 races, but took 9th in the standings. However, from 76 to 78 was when Yarborough was huge and all that. In 76, he would win 9 races, including 4 in a row, and took home the Winston Cup / NASCAR Championship. In 1977, he won 9 races as well. He finished every race without a wreck out. And in the second part of the season, he didn't finish outside the top 6. In a 30 race schedule, he won the points total over Richard Petty. Yarborough would become the first driver in NASCAR history to win the championship and not retire from a race, as in he always finished the race. Is he the only driver? No. Bobby Labonte in 2000 would do the same thing. And they're the only 2 drivers to do so. Yarborough actually led the Winston Cup points standings throughout the whole 77 season. So, anyway, things looked huge and all of that. 1978, his team switched to an Oldsmobile, but he picked up 10 wins in 1978, winning the Winston 500 Talladega and the Southern 500, and would take home his third straight Winston Cup championship, becoming the first driver to do so. The 1979 season, he actually finished fourth in the standings, winning 4 races. However, Yarborough made an impact at the opening race of 1979 at the Daytona 500 after he got in a wreck with Donnie Allison. So close to the race ending, they were chasing each other for first place. Yarborough wrecked, and then he got into an altercation with Donnie Allison. Bobby Allison, Donnie's brother, would come in and try to protect his brother and all that. The confrontation and exciting race that led up to it are credited with actually starting the mass growth of NASCAR, and CBS broadcast the race flag to flag, not any highlights package, but flag to flag. So that was huge. Anyhow, Yarborough actually ended up winning 14 poles in the 1980 race, capturing 6 races. However, he lost the championship to Dale Earnhardt Sr. by about 19 points, so he almost got his 4th title in 5 years. Cale Yarborough said that he would leave the Junior Johnson team and run a part-time schedule for the rest of his career. He won the Coca-Cola 500 in Atlanta in 1981, his big race. 82, he won the hometown 7,500 for the 5th and final time. Yarborough would keep racing and all that. So anyway, Yarborough would win the 1983 Daytona 500 and the 1984 Daytona 500, becoming the second driver to go back-to-back in history for Daytona 500s. That was huge and all that. He ended up winning the Talladega 500 in 1985. His final season of racing was 1988. So anyway, he did all that. Yarborough would actually purchase a team in 1986, renaming the team Cale Yarborough Motorsports, but he would run a part-time schedule for that team himself. After Yarborough retired in 1988, the number 29 car was taken by Dale Jarrett. However, he would still be a primary owner of a race car season and all that. He sold the team to 2000 to Chip McPherson. So he did a fantastic job winning 4 Daytona 500s, winning the 1968, 1977, 1983, and 1984 race, which was not that bad at all. He had a massive legacy part of the South Carolina Hall of Fame into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2011. So he did quite well for himself. Yarborough was married to his wife Betty Jo and having 3 daughters. Yarborough would succumb to a rare genetic disorder at a hospice December 31st, 2023. So not even 3 months ago, he passed away at age 84. But Cale Yarborough was a legendary race car driver for Daytona 500s, which was fantastic and all that. And he's just a good driver, don't you think? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.